Smarty Crab, kung sabari mai. I'm in the kitchen right now, just about to cook some dog food. Ain't nothing but some chicken, carrots, and stuff. And to put it in the pot right here and boil it. But you know, while I'm doing that, I was like, man, let me just get on the damn and start talking for a minute. I'm gonna talk about building on the blockchain today. So first things first. This is the question I want to ask. Building on the blockchain, right? So if you're an artist and you put your art on chain, is that the same as being a developer and like creating an app and say, "Oh, I'm building on the blockchain." You know what I'm saying? Is having art on the chain, is having art on the blockchain and presenting it and blah 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 blah. And because you spread it, if your art is on Ethereum and you're saying, "Yeah, my art is on Ethereum," you know what I'm saying? Is that building on the blockchain? You know? And then if you got an app that you create, um, and it's tied to Ethereum, is that, you know what I'm saying? Is it? I don't know. I'm asking you all. Because motherfuckers will say, "Oh, you're not building nothing." But I'm an artist, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not a developer, even though I can do like some developer type of shit. I'm not a fucking like what they would, a normal developer. I wouldn't even say normal, but the typical or whatever. So I'm gonna pull up ChatGPT. I want ChatGPT to get in on this with me too, while I chop up this chicken for the dog. Whew. Now all this food I showed y'all too, I only paid like $15 for this shit. So like the chicken breast alone in America costs like $15. So um let me open up the AI real quick. So I personally think it's the same, but you know what I'm saying, the developer, they created an app, they might have a different perspective on this shit because you're not like technically coding and building something. But all these apps that are being built on the chain ain't nothing but extraction. Like, let me know. Let me like put it like this: like, is there an app on the blockchain that you fucking log into every day and use? Like, aside from like MetaMask or something that's holding the assets, like Dex Screener or something like that. Like, you'll claim or somebody will claim to be a developer on the blockchain, but nobody's using anything that you're developing. But then the artist comes along, right? And now the artist has the art on chain, right? And people are admiring the art on a daily basis that is tied to the blockchain. Are people admiring your app or using your app on a daily basis? So I don't know. This could it's literally like a little spicy conversation. Like I personally think. Um, Let me open up the damn Chat GPT, see what they talk about. Swati Crab, Chat GPT.
Swatika. Hi, great to hear from you.
All right, so I got a question. Is developing on chain like, all right, so if like we create an app, is that the same thing or does it hold the same amount of weight as if somebody like an artist posts their art on chain, because like someone creating an app, they'll say, "Oh, I'm a developer, this, that, and the third." And then like somebody that put their art on chain, they're not technically a developer, but they're building on the blockchain. So like as far as like what do you think?
That's a good question. So, building an app that interacts with the blockchain and minting artwork on chain both count as building, but they're showing different layers. So, one is more protocol and infrastructure, and the other is cultural and content. The developer provides rails others can build on and scale, and the artist adds meaning, community energy, and demand. They're complementary rather than equivalent. And each can be high impact depending on adoption, originality, and staying power.
Man, elaborate more. So, like, if you had to choose which one had greater effect on the blockchain, which one would it be? Because like I understand developing an app is like, it's needed, but the art is needed too. It's like the art from centuries ago, like the Mona Lisa, that shit survived this whole time. But it's like, I mean, I feel like the blockchain will be able to do the same thing if you create like an app that people use for hundreds of years, but we're not there yet. So like, I don't know, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it really depends on what kind of effect you mean. If you're talking about the blockchain's technical evolution, then apps and infrastructure push that boundary more. But if you mean cultural impact, what gets remembered and shapes identity, that's where art can outlast tech. Tech becomes obsolete, culture sticks. Honestly, though, the strongest plays combine both. So, tech plus culture. That's when ecosystems last. Your own work tying digital items to real experiences is closer to that blended, longer horizon. That feels more durable.
So if you had to choose, which one would you go with? Would you go with like creating an app, or would you like your art to be on the blockchain? Like, what do you think would I mean, it's not like your actual. I mean, I don't know, bro. Like, what do you think? I'm just speculating out loud with you.
That's tough. If I had to choose one, reluctantly, I'd probably back the thing that people actually use, that enables culture to happen. But I'd still caveat that by saying that I'd rather average tech with great culture than great tech with no culture. Because tech can be replaced, culture's harder to replicate. If you build a space where artists thrive, you get both. And there are different kinds of builders, right? The tech, the culture, and where they come together. That last one tends to last the longest.
You still didn't give me a definite answer though. You were like kind of beating around the bush. Like, are you going with the artwork, or are you going with creating an app or developing an app? Like, which one you picking?
Fair point. If it's strictly one or the other, I pick building up because that tool can host a lot of culture and a lot of artists.
All right, so you're basically saying create a NFT launchpad.
Yeah, or even just a game or tool people use every day. It doesn't have to be a launchpad, but
But
it
what
should
tool
enable
what
others
tool
to
are people
create.
using every day other than the wallet that holds the ad set? I mean, what tool on chain, or maybe something that scans to check? I mean, come on, if you're going to develop an app, you got to create some app that ain't been created yet on the blockchain for people to use. Like, and if you're going to create some art, you can't create a derivative. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. Look, there are already loads of blockchain apps, wallets, decentralized exchanges, NFT marketplaces, explorers, portfolio trackers, identity tools, all of that. So the winning move probably isn't more blockchain apps, it's apps that solve a real problem and just happen to use blockchain where it's useful. Now, if we hold the bar to truly original, I'd still lean app, but here's the twist. If nobody builds culture into it, it becomes a ghost town. So I'd say the biggest unsolved thing is fun, human first experiences, where blockchain is invisible.
Hmm. Yeah, it sounds like you're talking about an NFT launchpad. That's probably the closest thing I can think of that you're describing, and help artists host their art. I mean, that's what it sounds like.
I see why it sounds that way. I think I'm picturing something broader than that, though. Not just a place to mint, but a place where people spend time and live in the experience. A game, social app, or business platform where blockchain is just powering it in the background.
Yeah.
Launchpads matter, but they're a piece, not the whole.
it's a tricky it's a tricky topic. I still think that the artwork outweighs the app. I think that if somebody posts if somebody posts their artwork on the blockchain, I mean, I don't know. I just see the maybe, and then this is all like a point of view aspect too, because I'm kind of biased as well. So but I think that the art is
Yeah,
gonna outlast everything.
that's fair. It is a values call. If your North Star is meaning and legacy, then yeah, art can outlast any app. If it's reach and daily utility, tools win. Different goals, different bets.
Man, give me a give me like a summary of what we've been talking about so far. Let's recap for a second.
Sure thing. So we started with whether building an app or putting artwork on chain carries more weight, and we came to a forced choice. I leaned toward apps because they can host and empower lots of creators. But you pushed back that it needs to be truly original. And from there, we got into what actually lasts. You argued art endures, like the Mona Lisa outlasting its tech. I argued tech creates the environment, but culture creates the memory. So where we landed is a difference in values. If your metric is reach and utility, build the app. If it's cultural legacy, make the art. And it sounds like for you, culture wins.
I don't know, bro, because it's like even the infrastructure. Once you create the app, I mean, like you said, it can become a ghost town. So are people even going to use the app? But hey, it's like the artist created the art, and I don't know if the artist believes in the art. Like, why would the artist leave their art? I mean, um, I could see somebody leaving the app before they leave the art, but it could just because the climate of crypto Twitter and like the toxicity and people will just create shit and abandon it if it doesn't generate money. But people usually like I don't know because if you create the art and you abandon the art, it's still on chain. People can still see it. Like sometimes when people create apps and stuff on chain, they'll just delete all of the shit and it'll be like no trace of anything afterwards.
Yeah, that's a solid point. The persistence of art on chain versus the fragility of apps that need ongoing upkeep. So maybe the real comparison is persistence versus maintenance. Apps can have huge impact while they're alive, but need constant care. Art can sit quietly and still be there to rediscover decades later.
Yeah, man, shit's crazy. I don't know, man. I just wanted to speculate with you and I don't know, just give the followers on Twitter something to really think about while they're enduring their blockchain journey.
Honestly, that's a great way to put it. Sounds like you've already got the contours of a solid post.
Well, let me I'm over here cooking Cola's food right now, so um bruh, this dude fuck is spoiled, bruh. He doesn't want nothing unless that chicken is in there. So I gotta I gotta figure out something because I don't know. He loves the taste of this chicken. Maybe I need to tone it down a little bit and put less chicken in there. I don't know. We're gonna see what happens. What you think?
Let's see. Sounds like Cola knows how to work the system.
Mm.
If you're worried about it, I just taper it gradually instead of cutting it out. That way he still gets the flavor he's after, but just doesn't start demanding a full portion every time. If the chicken is plain and unseasoned, a little is fine, but keep the diet balanced and don't let him train you. Spoiled little guy, huh?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. You know he is. But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and end this conversation and shit. You enjoy the rest of your day. Damn, she cut the thing off. She usually just says goodbye or something. She ended it for me today. But yeah, bruh. Like, what y'all think? If there's an artist out there and you know, they put their art on chain and they're like, oh, I'm building on the blockchain. Does hosting your artwork on the blockchain and then shill it and then bringing people to the fucking infrastructure, is that the same as, hey, I'm building on chain, where like developers are like, make an app and then it's like you got to connect your wallet to it and then it does this, it's like blah 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 blah, and there's only so many things you can do with these apps. What is it, like a fucking asset holder, a fucking asset checker, a fucking asset analyzer. Like, bro, there's not too many things left that could be done on the blockchain. Like y'all, they tried that social fi shit. I knew that shit was gonna fail from the jump because all social fi, everybody knows crypto Twitter. They have these little group chats where they post their post and everybody tries to pump one fucking asset, and that's all fucking social fi is. It's a fucking tokenized crypto Twitter chat. Like, depending on what chain you're on. So we already knew that wasn't gonna work. And I feel like that was the last. That was like the last. That was like the last chance for any kind of um, innovation. You know what I'm saying? After that, it's like you really got to get crafty. And like that wasn't even. I don't know, bro. At the end of the day, the whole question is um, building on chain. Is hosting your artwork on chain and developing an app. Is that the same, bro? Or is the artist not a developer, or is the artist not, you know what I'm saying, blah blah blah? Like, y'all let me know, man. Other than that, I'm gonna keep cooking this chicken for Cola, and I just switched his diet up. I've switched his diet like 3 times already, so hopefully this is the last time I gotta switch his diet. But yeah, man, y'all let me know what y'all think and how y'all feel about that.